How y'all doing today? It's CJ Moto and I'm back at you again with an awesome, amazing Sur-Ron X related video. I've had this thing now for, let's see here, 299 miles on the odometer. That's about, I don't know, you can look back at my delivery video, but I think I received it like about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks. It hasn't been that long. 299 miles. So I've been putting some mileage on it. You guys have been watching my videos, and I'm glad you guys have been enjoying my content. Anyhow, since I got this bike, I've loved the heck out of it. I put a little JBL Go-To speaker on the front. I put zip ties in the front and back going through to the bottom of the fender, and I put some foam in between there, and it's nice. It's up to about 25 miles an hour, sounds really good. Other than that, it gets kind of a little bit of washed out from the wind noise and stuff, but it's plenty loud, especially if you're like working on the bike or something like that. And I want to share with you guys some tips and tricks and something that completely changed the way this bike rides. And this thing just actually came out real recently. And this thing is very amazing. I'm just trying to look, there they are. I actually started to wear these more for a reason in my videos. It's because the light's always in my eyes. So anyhow, because I like you guys to be able to see the bike. But anyhow, the one thing was, there was one particular thing about this bike, and I'll get into all the things I love about it in later videos, but there's a lot to love about it. I'm not just saying that. This thing, I have full faith in the fact that I made the right decision canceling my Super 73 order. I think the RX bike is a cool looking bike, but I think it's junk. I think that it's nothing to the quality level of this bike. This bike is made in China, but you could say it's made in Japan, and that's not to say the notion that stuff coming out of China is not quality is nonsense. This bike gave me a true respect for Chinese engineering, for Sur-Ron motors, and in specific, they killed it. It is such a high quality bike. And I loved so many things from the DNM suspension, which is made in China. The battery's awesome. Just the quality of the plastics is great, with the exception the rear fender's a little flimsy, so I took it off, but it might be going back on. I kind of miss it. There was one thing that bugged me about it. And if you guys are familiar with the Segway, there's one thing that draws people to the Segway, or at least made Sur-Ron owners a little bit jealous. And that's that they could turn off regenerative braking. So whenever you're going down the road on this thing, and I'm going to attach some video at the end of this video. I haven't got a lot of riding footage with the Regen on, but I got some nighttime ride footage this morning on the way to work. And all that nighttime ride footage is with the Regen turned off, folks. So we turned it off. How did we turn it off? Well, you just simply lift up the cover here on the battery, okay? You lift up the cover here on the battery, and the bike comes with a little dongle. And I'll show you what the dongle looks like. So you get this box with your Sur-Ron, and I recommend you save this box. I got my stock skid plate, my stock foot pegs, my stock hand grips, all my stock stuff. And I also got this dongle in here, and also all the manuals for the shocks and stuff. The dongle, there's a little LED light on it, and it comes in the box, and you connect it underneath this battery to there's a back connector. You put it in between there, and what it does is it puts the bike in a mode to which you can troubleshoot it if it has issues, and it gives you codes on that little LED. Or so what you do is you plug it in and you simply turn the bike on, okay? And after you turn the bike on, you go down here to the kickstand, and you have the kickstand up. The bike is now on. You go 1, wait, 2, short, wait, 3, short, wait, 4, short, wait, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, wait a few seconds, and then you put the kickstand back up, you turn the bike off, you turn the bike back on, and from that point forward, you have no regenerative braking in this bike. What does that mean? When you're riding down the road, you're not like this. You're doing a wheelie, you're not like, okay? You're not doing this all the time. Also, the bike's not recharging the battery. But every time the bike's recharging the battery, it's slowing the bike down. So it's taking away from the energy that the bike has gained in the forward direction. Now, when you hit the throttle and you're doing 35 and you let off, you're just floating through the air, coasting. Okay? When you're going down a hill, you're coasting. When you're coming to a turn and you don't have to, it doesn't make you want to stop all the way. Most importantly, your body's not doing this all the time, which makes the ride way more comfortable. You're just sitting there riding the bike and it's coasting. If you want to take your hands off the bars, because this thing's super stable, like you can ride no hands on the bars to adjust things, grab something, just stretch a little. You stay in that seated, comfortable, upright position. Before, when you took your hands off the bars, your whole body would lurch forward and you would be forced to grab the bars, or else you're going to fall forward and hit your freaking neck on the stem or whatever. But super awesome there. We'll get some video of the Regen being off. I love the Regen being off. I just think it's really nice without it. Some people are just real scared of not having Regen on. You know, the older riders, senior citizen riders, stuff like that. They really love Regen. Eric Hicks loves Regen, but I think that he also would love no Regen if he rode around for a while without it, especially on flat ground. Now, when would it come in handy? It would come in handy if you're in like a really mountainous situation. You're in like Colorado or California. There's a lot of hills and mountains, or somewhere where there's lots of Italy or something. Then when you're going up the hills and then you come back down the mountain, your bike's actually recharging. Coming down the mountain, and you're saving your brakes. But for flat ground riding or flat-ish type riding, I mean, I was even going up a small hill and no Regen. It was just like, it would just continue up the hill when you let off the gas. It would just carry its momentum, which is really, really nice. I wanted to show you guys one more thing real quick, and it's adjusting your spokes. Okay, it's a very important thing, and it's sometimes overlooked. So let me go over here and grab my spoke wrench out of my little kit. I'm going to tell you exactly what you guys need to do. I watched multiple videos and I just recently educated myself on this. So you come down here, okay? Let's get the wheel out here. Try not to drop the bike. You come over here, or stand it up on the key. You come over here to the left side of the bike is what I recommend. Now, why on the left side? If you take the spoke wrench and you put it down here at the bottom of the wheel, now this is assuming it's not on a stand right now, but even if it is, that's even better. You take your spoke wrench, okay? It's a 3 is the size here on this wrench, but you want a spoke wrench that fits the nipples, and you don't want to crank on these. Everything's just a light turn, nice and gentle, and these spokes work fine. They don't round off. People think that these are such cheap spokes and wheels. They're really not bad. I love them. Take them down here, and you always go towards the back of the bike. So you put this is the most important part. You have to take the spoke that's right next to the valve stem, okay? You put it on the spoke right next to the valve stem, and you do a quarter turn, okay? And then from there, you skip 2, and you tap them. Hear that? Here, listen. That one's a little bit wonky. That one's perfect. So but what you do is you do a spoke, you skip 1, 2, do another spoke. Skip 1, 2, so every 4th spoke. Do the next spoke a quarter turn. Skip 1, 2, the next spoke a quarter turn. Okay? You go starting at the one right next to the valve stem, you skip 1, 2, do 1. Skip 1, 2, do 1. All the way around, and you'll end up back at the one right to the left of the valve stem. Then you go to the next spoke from that one. You do the same thing. Quarter turn, skip 2. Quarter turn, skip 2. Quarter turn, skip 2. All the way around. Push the bike along the ground. Stay on the left side of the bike, and always, you got to stay down here at the bottom of the wheel and go back towards the back. That'll always make sure you're tightening the spokes. Once you get to the 3rd spoke and do that, you do 1 all the way around, 2 all the way around, skipping 2, 3 all the way around, skipping 2, and then you start back at 1 again, okay? That means you hit every spoke on the wheel and you evenly tighten the spokes the whole way around the wheel, all right? I hope that you learned something again, so let's explain it one more time. Next to the valve stem, get on a spoke, quarter turn, skip 1, 2, 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 then go to number 2, then 3, and then start back at 1, and you keep doing it until all your spokes are nice and taut. If they're already tight, don't go a quarter turn, just skip that spoke, go to the next one, and keep going until they're all pretty tight. And then you go over them, and you listen to them, and they should all have a nice ring to them. If they're loose, they're really gonna have a thud to them, okay? You don't want them to have a thud to them. So keep these spokes tight. You won't get any bent spokes. You should be doing that like every 100 miles or so, or if you want to go overboard, you can even check them. You don't have to always be tightening them, but check them for tension like every ride or two. At the very least, every 100 miles, and you'll have an awesome experience with these stock Sur-Ron wheels and nipples and everything. Don't listen to the negative, people that think you have to upgrade the wheels and tires, you have to upgrade the suspension. The equipment this thing comes with is really nice, okay? What you should upgrade, in my opinion, is the handlebars and a few other things. I upgraded my headlight, okay, to the Fisher Fab House. You don't have to do that. You could also just put a switch on the stock headlight. It's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed all this information. I've got way more coming out. When you guys have questions, please ask me the questions. I'll try to get you answers. I'm learning more and more about this, but yeah. So that's how to tighten your spokes on your Sur-Ron X, and that's also how to turn off your regen, and the fact that I think that it rides absolutely amazing with no regen. On a side note, today I did a 10-mile ride, about 10.5 miles, okay, with the regen turned off completely, rode to work and back, and around a little bit, and I'm at 74% battery, and that's 74% battery after 10 miles on this thing. So I haven't done a full range test, but I'm hoping that with the regen off, staying around, and that's with a 42 tooth sprocket, but I think you're going to be expecting 35 to 40 miles if you're not doing super hot dog activity with your regen turned off, which is super exciting. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my other content. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my videos. Go back to my I have a playlist with all my Sur-Ron X content on it. Please take your time and go watch all my videos. I really appreciate your support. You watching my videos supports my channel, allows me to continue to be motivated to do these awesome Sur-Ron videos for you. Okay, let's watch a little ride footage, and I'll talk to y'all later. CJ Moto out. Here's a little bit of that ride footage I was telling you all about. I was riding this morning like 5 a.m. and no regen at all. It just felt so nice. You let off the gas, you don't hunch forward, you don't lurch forward, you just, look at that, hands off the bars, just holds its momentum. Super nice. Just, it's so easy on your back. You can just sit there and relax and maintain the same seating position and posture, and not have to worry about kind of holding yourself up every time that regen kicks in. So yeah, just super cool. Really enjoyed it. Loving it. Loving my Sur-Ron X. Loving everything about this bike. And now I'm loving it even more than I was before, because I have those choices, which is just great. If you want to have regen, you still have also, you could always switch it back. Once it's gone, it's not permanently missing. And you can also change it. It comes in like level 3, which is the hardest level of that. You can also switch it down to level 1 or 2, which is also super neat. So don't forget to mess around with that. You can do your range tests and see what kind of performance you're getting, what the best performance you're getting for your application. Because like I said before, if you live in the mountains or something like that, then regen might be just the thing to allow you to not use your brakes as much. And then also it might be pumping a lot more energy into your battery, which is really cool also. But you guys can stick around and watch a little bit more ride video. I enjoy making these for you. I'm going to try to get a little bit of ride video in no matter when I do a little, you know, video in the office or the studio here. I'm still going to try to hook you guys up with some ride footage. Watch this. We're about to freaking whip around this shopping cart, baby. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. This was still with Regen. Every time I let off the gas, the front end drops. So now, you got to be careful because there ain't nothing saving you when you let off that gas other than your left hand back brake lever. So whenever you're messing with your wheelies, keep your pointer finger on that back brake lever. You can also adjust your brakes, how far out the levers sit. So how sensitive the brakes are right off the get. By looking at the end of the brake lever, there's a little Allen key that you can turn to adjust that lever, which is super cool. Look at this, we're going to jump off this ledge that's actually higher than a shopping cart. These DNM forks do just fine. I mean, obviously it makes noise because you just jumped off of a 3.5, 4 foot ledge. 3.5 probably.